In this video, I had the opportunity of exploring the city of Sofia, Bulgaria. It's a fairly large city with 1.2 million people, or about 19% of the Bulgarian population of 6.4 million. So today I got a chance to do a walking tour where I got to learn about Sofia's history, and it was really interesting just because there's definitely like a layer cake to it. So when you explore the metro, they're like digging it out, and you could see like structures from like Roman times and even before then. And yeah, it was just really interesting seeing how they tried to reconstruct the site itself too. So it's like history kind of interacting with itself is interesting to see in action. And after the tour, I got to go see a couple of Orthodox churches, one of which happens to be the oldest structure in the city, St. George, which was said to date from like the 4th century. Then after that, I went to the Orthodox Cathedral of St. Nedalia. And then after that, I got to learn a little bit more about the history of the city through the Regional History Museum of Sofia. And they had a lot of different stuff from like the communist time period and the royal time period. So you got to learn a lot about those brief periods of time, relatively speaking. And finally, I went to the local Catholic Cathedral of St. Joseph Parish. So it was a pretty busy day for me that day. It was pretty warm, and I think I barely scratched the surface of Sofia in general, much less Bulgaria. So I definitely need to come back to this country and explore the city a lot more, learn more about the culture and people. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. All right, so I am on the streets of Sofia, Bulgaria today, and I'm gonna do a walking tour later on. But yeah, just nice to have a good night's rest and get some fluids in me, because I think I was like pretty severely dehydrated yesterday, honestly. Yeah, it's like a city kind of has a little bit different vibe. It almost, I don't know. It's got some like Ottoman touches to it, I'd say. It's cool though. Yeah, this is a nice looking coffee here. And I'm trying some local, looks like kind of their burek, I guess. But looks good. Alright, so we're starting our tour now. Oof, man, it is hot again. Yeah, we're like in like the center of the city here. It's like the main square. It's pretty cool. I mean, this church looks cool. So this is an Orthodox church, and it was actually like blown up in a terrorist attack like 100 years ago. They tried to kill like the king or the czar of Bulgaria here, and he was late to the attack, and the terrorists ended up killing just like a bunch of random people that showed up that had nothing to do with it. So they failed, and there was a bunch of state repression after that, because it was done by people who were trying to install a communist government in 1925, which like kind of like a harebrained scheme. And yeah, it totally just blew up in their face, basically. So yeah.
Controversy and confusion, because you see, Sofia municipality, they thought they were commissioning a statue to
The statue was put up in the year 2000, so I'll have to look it up, get some more information on it. Yeah, I remember walking through this bit last night, I think. Everything looks so different during the day. So these churches were built during Ottoman times, and I guess they're kind of small, squat, and semi-underground, because no church during that time period could be taller than like the local mosque. So they were all, for like 400 or 500 years, all the Orthodox churches, or all the churches were built in this little squat fashion. Now we're walking through like some old remnants. It's like a layer cake. So the city's technically been around. People have been inhabiting this place for thousands of years. And the people who lived here before, like Romans and during like the early Greek period, are called Thracians. So there's, I don't know if there's too many remnants of that period left, but we're gonna find out.
I fully understand it's probably very frustrating to
constructed
be
modern
coming
materials
across
here.
these ancient remains.
They
Well, how about
destroyed
you
them.
open about it? How about you say,
They built
guys,
them.
we
So
need
it's
to
like kind of a half-assed reconstruction. You know, they didn't even bother getting bricks that were kind of like trying to simulate that era at all. They still have like modern serial numbers and stuff on a lot of them. You can kind of see like the old Roman bricks that are there. They're like really rounded off. Compare them to like the modern ones. They just kind of like stack the new stuff on top of the old stuff. Is that pot from Roman era? I don't know. Probably not. But I mean, this site's like a perfect example of like history intermixing. You know, you have like the Roman era stuff, you have the modern metro, you got a McDonald's there, and then you have like a mosque from the Ottoman era, all like in one space. You know, it's really interesting.
Before that, it served as the public bath, built in 1913. At that time, pretty much nobody had a bath at home. People come here, especially on Sundays, to greet each other by saying Happy Bath, like Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. And you would meet anyone here, from the everyday working class Bulgarians to...
It's cool that they turned this old bathhouse into a history museum. I'll have to check it out later. This place looks interesting. Yeah, I really need to learn my Cyrillic again. I studied a little bit, but I totally forgot it all. I know this is like a D sound. I don't know. I think this is like a Y sound. Yeah, because I think this is Bulgaria. It's like This is an R sound. Y. A. Bulgaria. That's probably totally wrong. I'm gonna get roasted in the comments. That's fine. I'm learning. I like studied Ukrainian like 4 years ago for like about 2 weeks. So I kind of learned the letters a little bit, but I haven't like looked at them since. So this is my first time encountering the Cyrillic since looking at it then. So this was the Communist Party headquarters, but then it became the parliament afterwards. After the fall of communism in 89, 90. And this whole area though was kind of wiped out during World War II because Bulgaria sided with the Axis powers, with Hitler and the Nazis. And yeah, I got 12 carpet bombings from the Allies. So a lot of the city was destroyed during the war. And the communists rebuilt this area to kind of like show off their power over the people, I guess. That's kind of what the guide was saying.
So guys, even nowadays, the central streets of Sofia follow the Roman city plan system. So for example, you're now standing on the so-called Via Militaris or Via Diagonalis, which was an ancient road connecting Constantinople, or Istanbul nowadays, to Belgrade. It was running through the heart of Serbia, connecting the eastern gate, just gate, to the western gate, which is where the St. Joseph Catholic Cathedral is. If you remember, I told you when we were looking at the...
Yeah, it's just amazing. This entire city is just built on Roman ruins. Just funny, like they try to recreate it with modern bricks and they have like serial numbers on them. I'm always like fascinated with like the Roman concrete. It's just like so cool. So these guys are the National Guard and they're responsible for guarding the president of Bulgaria who resides in this palace here. You can actually see like the Bulgarian flag there. It's red, green, and white. And the European Union flag there. But yeah, it's like the president's kind of ceremonial role. They don't have much of say in the government. They're kind of there just to do like state visits and like diplomatic functions more than anything. Because the president's coming. Yeah, so in a lot of parliamentary systems, they'll have like a ceremonial president who like kind of does like a lot of like state functions, you know, ceremonial stuff. Whereas the prime minister usually does like all the political lawmaking and all the government things that get kind of messy.
Built in the 3rd century, they think that at that time it served as a farm. But then in the 4th century, Christianity becoming the official religion of the Roman Empire, it was converted into a church. The rest of the compound here became private apartments for the emperor's guests. These apartments were provided with a technology that was kind of advanced at its day. It was called Hippocaust, floor heating system that was running on hot steam or hot water. But as a Hippocaust was labor intensive to run, you had to always have a person taking care of the fire, and it was needing a lot of resources.
So this is the oldest standing structure in the city, the Sofia Church at St. George. It's cool. I'll have to go there later and check it out. These fountains, look at that. So cool. This is the National Theater. It smells like a swimming pool. Yeah, it's a pretty building. So this yellow building was the former royal palace of the Bulgarian Tsars. And it's kind of funny. And it's also, well, now it's the National Art Gallery. I guess the guy was talking about how the last Bulgarian Tsar, he was 7 years old when he kind of not really took power because they killed his father died under mysterious circumstances after having a visit with Hitler and all those people. So his father died, he took over, then I guess he was there for like a few months, and then Bulgaria became a communist country. The Red Army came in and installed a communist government in Bulgaria. And the funny thing is that he came back in 2001, actually ran for parliament and became the prime minister. So yeah, the Tsar basically depended on like the Socialist Party, which inherited the Communist Party titles and status. Basically, they're the inheritors of the old Communist Party. He depended on them to get reinstalled in power for a second term. And they're kind of the government that ousted him from power the first time, whenever he was 7. Wow, check that out.
It was a geopolitical move that would become part of the EU. Not because it was the one that gave the name to our city. Hagia Sophia means the holy wisdom of God, or divine wisdom, and it's actually a reference to Jesus Christ. It was built in the 6th century by Emperor Justinian the Great, just like the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, for those of you that have been there. If you go inside the church, you will see underground floor, -1 level, there's like an archaeological museum with the Roman necropolis of Serdica, with some tombs, with murals, and 2 older churches. When it was built, it was the most prominent building in the entire area. It was also kind of on the top of a hill. So from here, pretty much all the streets go down, which means it was the most prominent building in the entire area. And when in medieval times, travelers were approaching Sofia from the east or southeast, they will be like, oh, there she is, Sofia, meaning the church. But it gradually started referring to the city in that way, and the oldest document in which Sofia is named Sofia dates from the 14th century.
This is a cool mural. I like the street art here, it's pretty cool. Just looking at all the trash cans and stuff. Some more there too. So I did lunch and I'm gonna do a little siesta here. I don't want to walk back because it's super hot. That sign just said it was 33 degrees Celsius a minute ago, but so it's pretty hot. Anything above 30 is pretty warm. Yeah, that was a nice tram. There's the AC in there, nice comfy seats, plenty of space. It's pretty good. We need one of those in Albuquerque. Alright, so it's Bulgarian Parliament building. I'm gonna go check out one of the oldest structures in Sofia. It's this church. Well, I guess it's had some additions made to it, obviously. All that metal stuff and these new bricks are probably all new, so I'm gonna see if it's open and have a look. I'm really curious about it. So this is St. George, and it's totally surrounded by all these like buildings here. I don't know if they're offices or like apartments or what, but check it out. So they have the pieces from like the Roman times. And I'll see if they have some of the dates here when this is built. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot read Cyrillic alphabet. I attempted it, but we'll see. So sadly, photography and videography is not allowed in there. So I'm gonna respect the rules of the place. You just got to come and check it out, you know? This is the oldest building here in Sofia. I think it was built in like the 2nd or 3rd century, but I'm not sure. I'll put that in the intro. I'll look up the dates it was built. Yeah, the interior is pretty interesting. I think I couldn't really get a good look at all the details in there, but the church I went to in Bucharest was pretty detailed as far as like the paintings and stuff on there with Christian iconography. But yeah, here it is. Well, I could go to the other church, so I'll check that one out, see if I'm able to do some videography in there. If not, let's check out a museum, and that's gonna have to be it for the day. All right, so going to Cathedral St. Adelia, and let's see if I let me film in there. I don't know. I was able to film inside the Orthodox Church in Romania. Let's see if Bulgaria is different, I guess. All right, here's the name of the church. Oh yeah, it has like the listing of the attack in 1925 when they blew it up. So I think they're having like some sort of mass or something. I don't know. I don't think it was a mass, but like a prayer session. I didn't really want to get super into their space, so I just took a short bit of video from there. So yeah, sorry, but yeah, I just don't feel comfortable going into like spaces that aren't open, I guess, to public viewing. So I have just a little bit of footage from in there, but not a whole lot. All right, so I'm gonna see the History Museum, the former bathhouse for the city, which is like it's really a pretty building actually, especially if you look at some of the details there. It's only got like 45 minutes in here, so let's see what they got. I'm kind of curious. So this place was the former bathhouse for the city. It's welcome. It's open to the public, so everyone would come here. So people have been living here since Neolithic times, so thousands and thousands of years of human settlement. 5th millennium BC, so at least 7,000 years. That's incredible. Bronze and Iron Ages. Roman period. So this stuff is all over the former Roman Empire. You'll find stuff from them everywhere. glassware. Beaches. Stuff from the Ottoman period. Oh, it's a cool color there. I don't think I see that very often. That's pretty neat. Oh, shit. You could see the writing because they used to use like the Arabic script back in the day. It's crazy to like hear about. I mean, just World War II just wiped out the Jewish community here in Europe. It's like horrible tragedy, you know. It's kind of like wrecking the current world now, because if there was still a strong Jewish community here in Europe, then maybe all the violence that's happening now would be a lot less. I don't know. This is like from the royal, they had a kingdom, or the tsardom. I guess what it's called, because they had a czar. It's all the royal stuff. It's kind of interesting. Oh, here's a better view of this thing. Gotta love like the outfits from that time. It's like, oh my god, it's just incredible. So crazy, so interesting stuff. The devil is among us. So cool. So this is like a New Testament here. It's Gospel Austrian here. Alright, so this is items from the Ottoman period. this is some of the Roman stuff. I don't know, I must have went back in time for a second. And the Romans had like so many different coins. There's like coin stashes like everywhere. It'd be nice to like find a little coin stash in your backyard somewhere. Buy like a little farmhouse somewhere and you start poking around in your backyard and all of a sudden, a bunch of Roman gold. That'd be so sweet. All right, I'll say that the Sofia History Museum has a better car than the Bucharest one. The one in Bucharest wasn't as nice. Obviously, like all newsstands. I remember when they still used to like use these things like back in the day. Sell like magazines and newspapers. This is like all 20th century stuff. It's a model of like the old trams. Kind of funny. Pretend you're riding in one. I mean, some of the ones on the street kind of look almost the same as those, you know. The technology was perfected, what, like 100 years ago? I think these probably traditional Bulgarian outfits, so. Yeah, they look a lot darker and thicker than the Romanian ones. I guess this is some of the items from the royal family. Oh wow, this where they used to sit. Alright, so I entered the room with the Soviet period. I kind of skipped over like the royal stuff. I found it kind of boring, I guess. But yeah, this is how people used to work back during that period of time. You could see them working in the factories making fabrics and stuff. Kind of interesting, like how people used to live. Videos. What is this? It's a washing machine, maybe? Yeah, probably an old washing machine. So they used to keep track of everybody. It's kind of scary. Go check out this radio. It's pretty cool. Huh. This clothes they used to have. Well, during that time period, I guess they had access to some nice things, you know. Well, that was a quick walk through the city. I guess a little bit of Bulgarian history. Man, yeah, I gotta cook today. Ugh. Gonna be like a lobster when I get home. But yeah, definitely. It was only €5. You know, you could pop in pretty quick. Go through it within like 30 minutes to half an hour maybe spend in there. If you're interested in like royal families, they had a lot there about the Tsardom era, you know. I'm not too interested in like just going and seeing all like the king's clothes and all this furniture and stuff, but they had a lot showing like everyday life during like the communist period, which is pretty cool. The exhibit there. I'm more interested in that. All right, so I'm gonna check out the Catholic church here, St. Joseph Roman Catholic Parish. So let's have a look here. I want to see which pope they have out here. See if it's open. I don't know. If it's open to the public or what. Let's see. to the grounds here. I don't know. You have to guess this one because I can't read it. Let's see. I'm going to use Google Translate on this one. Alright, so this is the outside of the church. Looks like relatively modern building though. So they have Mass in Polish, Bulgarian, English. That's cool. Cool. Wow, it's nice in here actually. Oh, wow, sting. Yeah, the church is pretty small in there. It's pretty bare bone, or like not bare bones, but it's simple. There's not a lot of decoration in there. But yeah, it's interesting that they have the masses in all those different languages. Must have a Polish community here. Alright, so I'm gonna call it a day actually. That's like my last stop for the day. I get some rest. I am flying to Greece tomorrow, so I need to get ready for that. And yeah, so blew this video. You know, I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of Sofia. I feel like I didn't get to do a whole lot here because I was so drained from yesterday. That train ride really took it out on me, and I couldn't really go out last night or try any of the food or anything, so it's kind of got a little tiny sampler of the city today. So hope you enjoyed what you saw, and I appreciate your support. Please like, share, subscribe, especially if you made it this far. Like, why you watched the entire video and you're not subscribed? That's just would be crazy. I don't get it. But yeah, bye. I'll see you in Greece tomorrow.